Welcome back, Algebra 2. We're in Lesson 106. We're going to talk a little bit more about systems of three equations. Sometimes we're given systems of three equations where we don't have all three variables in each equation. This is a little more obvious to see if we spread these out and stack them. It would help if I used my pen. So I have 2x plus 3y, and there's no z, and that equals -4. Now I have x minus 2z, and that equals -3. And then I have a 2y minus z is equal to -6. So what I need to do is I need to figure out how to combine these so that I have the same variables remaining so that I can solve them. So looking at these, I think what I'm going to do is eliminate the x term. It's going to be the easiest one to multiply to find the same term. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these first two equations and I'm going to multiply this one by a -2. So I'm going to write the first one as it is, 2x plus 3y equals -4. And the second one I'm going to multiply by -2. So that gives me a -2x. And then that gives me a positive 2z and a positive 6. Because -3 times -2 is a positive 6. So now these will cancel and I'm left with 3y plus 2z. Is that right? No, because I multiplied by a... So you're looking at that going, that doesn't look right. I multiplied by a -2. -2 should be a +4. So you gotta double check your work there, ladies. So it's 3y plus 4z, and that's going to equal a +2. So there is one of my equations that I can use. Now I'm going to look at the other set of equations. I am going to, how am I going to do that? How am I going to get rid of this x here? How am I going to do that? Let's see. So if I take this equation here, and I multiply it by 4, then it'll relate to this one. So why don't I do that? I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to multiply it by 4. So it's going to be 8y, right? So this one times 4. That's 8y minus 4z, and that's why I chose 4, is equal to 4 times -6 is going to be -24. So these would cancel. So I have 11y is equal to -22. Y is equal to -2. So there's part of my solution. Y is -2. So now I can take this y is -2 and I can substitute it in for one of these in order to solve. So why don't I choose this one? I'm going to solve with y for this one. So 2x plus 3 times -2, because that's what the value of y is equal to -4. So 2x minus 6 equals -4. If I add 6 to both sides, 2x is equal to a +2. X is equal to 1. So I have my value for x, and that's a 1. Now I could take this x value and I can put it into this equation and solve for z. So I'm going to do that here. I'm going to say 1 minus 2z equals -3. Subtract 1 from both sides. -2z is equal to -4. Divide both sides by -2. Z is equal to a +2. And there's my z value. So what I did was, instead of using a combination of these two and maybe these two, I combined these two equations I multiplied this one by a positive 2, and that was this right here. And that gave me the ability to eliminate it and get it down to 3y plus 4z. And then I had a y and a z left, so I was able to just multiply it by 4. So I would have the negative 4 needed to cancel here. And then that let me solve for y. And then all I had to do was substitute y into one of these other equations. I could have chosen this one to solve for z first, or what I did was I chose this one and I solved for x first, and then I subbed in x here and solved for z. All right, so you kind of see how to do that. Let's do one more. All right, and let me clear the page, and I'm going to write up our equations. All right, here is my new system of equations. This is 106.2, by the way. Put that right here, 106.2. Sounds like a radio station. 106.2 FM. So let's solve for one of these equations to start with. So I'm looking here again, and I see 3y, 2y, 2z, 3z, 2x, 1x. This is going to be the easiest one to solve for. So why don't we do it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by a negative 2. So then I have 2x minus 3z equals negative 5. That's this one. This would be negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2. That's going to be a positive 4y. And that's going to be a negative 12. So these will cancel. I have a negative 3z plus 4y is equal to a negative 17. All right, so now here I have a 3y minus z, so that's my y and z. So I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to rewrite that. It's going to be negative 2z plus 3y. So I think what I'm going to do is multiply this one. I'll put it in the same order. Negative 2z, so it's easier to see, plus 3y. This is a 2. Is equal to negative 12. It's easier for me to see because it's in the same order as this one. So I'm going to multiply this by a negative 3. So that would be a positive 6z, negative 9y equals a positive 36. Right, and I'm going to multiply this by 2. So that's going to be a negative 6z plus 8y equals a negative 34. All right, so now I'm going to combine. That cancels. This is going to be a negative y is equal to a positive 2. So y is equal to negative 2. All right, so there's my first solution. Y is equal to a negative 2. So I'm going to substitute this y in for this equation so I can solve for z. So 3 times negative 2 minus 2z equals negative 12. That's going to be negative 6 minus 2z equals negative 12. Add 6 to both sides. Negative 2z is equal to a negative 6. Divide both sides by negative 2. Z is equal to 3. So here's my answer. There's z is 3. Now I can substitute in the z here to solve for x. So 2x minus 3 times 3 is equal to negative 5. 2x minus 9 is equal to negative 5. If I add 9 to both sides, 2x is equal to a positive 4. Divide both sides by 2, x is equal to 2. So x is a positive 2. And if I check my solution, yes, this is correct. So that's what we're doing, is we're looking and evaluating to see what can I eliminate, How can I solve for something? And we don't have to use them equally. We can compare them as we need to. So I eliminated the x first. That left me with a z and a y. I had a z and a y here. So I used that through multiplication to come up with some cancellation solutions and solved for y. And then I just substituted that y value in to solve for z, and then the z value in to solve for x. All right, and that is all we have for lesson 106. I will see you in lesson 107.